Hi, I'm Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to put together our Santa for our little Christmas display. This is the third part in the series that I'm doing as a little display piece to go in my living room. It's really fun to do and not that complicated. It's just a lot of small parts that we just need to put together. So what I'll do is I write it up by hand and then put it here for you to have a screenshot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start typing them up and do it as a flash before the actual video starts. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but my husband will be doing that bit. I'll just do the typing up. So it's really fun to do. I'll apologise now. I've got COVID at the moment, so my voice feels rather raspy at the moment, so I apologise if my voice is a little bit off. So hopefully you can understand me, and let's get to it. Right, so I'm going to show you how to put the headpieces together first. I'll apologise now, I've got COVID so my throat's a little bit hoarse. So if you can't understand me, I do apologise. I will do a listing at the beginning with all the shapes and sizes on that you're going to need, so it'll be easy for you to piece it together. So I just wanted to put that little bit in there. So for the head, I've got 2 tight coils and I'm using 3mm strips for these, and I've used 4 strips to make some tight coils, and then I'm going to use a moulding tool to make them into domes, and then I've got 2 tight coils made with 1 strip, and then I'm going to show you how to make the little ear, which is a half strip. I'm just making a sort of bended leaf semicircle sort of shape, and then I've got a half strip which I'm going to turn into his nose. So we'll start with the heads first. Okay, so I've just got my moulding tool. That way, zooming in a little bit too far, and I'm just going to mould it around the dome. Oh, that one's just a little bit, because that'll probably be the back of the head. Just make sure I've got it. If you want it to be a bit more dome-like, just go down to the next size up. And then you just want to take your PVA and it's come out. And just take a brush and just spread it around and leave that to dry. So you need to do that with both pieces. I'll just show you that one again. I'll go in. You can use the Quilled glue if you prefer, if you've not got just regular PVA. I just tend to use PVA for my quilling projects. And then what we'll do is we'll stick those 2 together, which will make the head. Now you can do that now, or you can wait for them to totally dry and then put them together. I'm just going to try putting them together now. Whenever I try doing this on camera though, they never want to stay where I put them. So if you see this bit already, then it's worked. I'm just going all the way around the edge, and then just pop them on top of each other, and you've got a little head. Okay, so the neck is just your 2 tight coils, and you're just going to stick those on top of each other. Simple as that. Okay, so you just get a little stack. And then the teeny tiny nose, what we're doing, which is half a strip, I'm just going to put it through the smallest one here, which is 2.5mm. If you've got one of these, then you can use that. If you haven't, just use anything that's sort of rounded or domed just to push it out. You could always use the end of your quilling tool if it's domed like mine, but because I've got this, I'm using it. Just makes it a little bit easier, but just look through your house, see what things you can use instead. And again, just glue in there, and let that dry. And then for the ears, you don't need this to do that, but you just need to take your tight coil, your strip, your half strip, and then you just want to wind it up like you usually would. So I've just got it, so that's not a totally loose coil, but it's just a little bit let out. And then I'm just going to bend it into that sort of shape. So it's semicircle, bended leaf, whatever you want to call it. So I've just got those, so you need 2 of those. Okay. Right, so for Santa's hat I've taken another tight coil, and this is 3 red strips and 1 white strip, and these are 5mm strips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my quilling mould, and I'm just going to use the cones rather than the dome side of it, and I'm just going pushing down ever so gently on there, and I don't want to push it too hard, or else it will become wound up. If you want to curve it, I find it easy to put my quilling tool in there and have something to push against. So I don't want to do too much on it. But that's basically what we've got for his little hat. If you want to curve it even more, you can do. I just don't want to tempt fate and it come uncoiled, because it's already done it once for me while I've been filming, so I'm not going to be as forceful with my curving, not curling. Right, so that's the hat main piece ready, and then I've just got for the pom-pom I've just got 1 white strip in a tight coil, and I'm just going to do the same as what I did with the nose and just go down to the relative dome that there is and put some glue on. Okay, and then with this one's pretty much easy, so you can stick it straight on. So I'm just going to put some glue around here, and then just pop it on like that. So you've got Santa's little hat. And then for his beard and for his hair, or whatever you want to, how much you want to put on, I've just made these, and they're teeny tiny little loose coils. And all I've done is I've basically cut a 3mm strip into, I think it was 16 pieces altogether, and I've wound it up with my quilling tool and then just pulled it off, and it's just curled them perfectly. And those will be for his beard and his hair. Now for his legs, I've already put one together to show you. I've used 10mm strips just so that you're not making too many strips for his legs and things. If you haven't got 10mm strips and you've got 5, you just need to double up the amount so you get the same height as what these are. So I've got 3 red tight coils, which is for the main height of his leg, and then I've got a black tight coil, which is for the main of his boot, this part here. And then for this one here, I've just got a single strip tight coil, and I'm going to show you how to dome it into the front of his foot. So I'm going to put the one that I've done already to the side, and then we're just stacking these red ones on top of the black. And leave them to dry. Just try and make sure you've got them nice and straight. So now we've got these stacked up and drying, put them to the side. Now we're going to take the tight coil that we've done for the front of his boot. Now this is a 5mm strip, not a 10mm strip, because obviously the front of the foot's not higher than what the ankle is, so that's why I've gone for the small one. And you can either use the end of your quilling tool, if you've got one like mine, or you can use your dome and just make it to the size that you want. And then we're just going to press in one side. Let's just keep something behind it so that I'm not pushing too hard. I'm basically sort of flattening off one of the edges, and this is what's going to go at the front side of the foot. Okay, now we'll just pop some glue on here. We'll leave that to dry. Put that off to the side. Okay, he's drying away. Now to make the arms, for each arm we're going to be making 2 of these cones. So to do that you need 2 tight coils which have got 2 strips per tight coil. I've got my reference off to the side so I know I'm telling you the right thing. And then for the hands we're using some tight coils which we have done with 1 red and 1 white strip, and I've just curled up from the red end first and it's come out to the white, which will be his cuff. So to make these, what I like to do is, if I can get my quilling tool, you can start it off on your dome if you wish, but I like to make sure that I've got control over these ones because they're quite a different shape. I'm just starting it off with that, and then because the shoulders are a lot smaller than what the arms generally are, so I just like to start it off that way, and then just push the bottom further down the cone, and then if you just want it a little bit more, move it down. Just do it very gently because it took me quite a few times to actually make those cones, because they kept popping out, and then just push it in a little bit more, and then we're just going to bend them slightly, just gradually. These are 5mm strips that I'm using for this one. You could use the 10mm strips if you wish. I think I might push that one a little too far. Yeah, push that one too far, so that's how easy it is to do. Start. I want you to see that I make mistakes when I'm doing these things as well, because then you know you're not the only one when these things happen to you. Now I want to try and get them the same size of what I've done those other ones, so I just want to go gently in now and extend it out. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pinching the bottom circle here at the bottom, which is going to be our joint. Okay, so I've got that one there. Now you just put some glue in the centre of these and let those dry, and then what we're going to be doing is we'll take our 2 cones, and then you pick whichever one you're having for the top, and then they're going to link into each other like this. Okay, so you can just pop some glue in here and just put your other little arm piece in. And let that dry. Pop that to the side, and then for the little mittens or the cuff, so we've got our tight coil here, and all I've done is made a cone, and I think it was this one that I used, and just pushed it down. I want to keep the white generally unwoven really. I'm just wanting to make the red pop out, which is going to be his hand. Okay, and I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit here like we've done on the other pieces of the arms. Glue in there, spread it around, so you've got your 2 hands. So you need to get both his hands and his arms made, and the next big thing is his actual body. Now these are just tight coils made from red strips, and there's 8 strips per part of it. So obviously Santa's a little bit tubby, so his front half wants to be a little bit more domed than what the back is. So the back one I'm going to do first. I'm just going to start off with the biggest one, and then what I like to do is, if you've watched my other videos, I like to put my finger and thumb at either side, and then I'm pushing from either side and trying to make it into an oval shape. Okay, and then if it's gone a bit too far out with you doing that, you can easily push it back in. It's that oval shape that we're trying to get, so that it's his body. Okay, go again. Okay, and then you want to do the same with the other one. But because this is going to be his belly, we want it a little bit more pronounced. Let's put it in a nice way. It's all those cookie eats. Yeah, there we go. And then you're going to do the same thing and just press. Now because it's more of a deep dome, it's going to be easier to pinch. Okay. And you just want to make sure. So I've got one end that's a little bit more sticking out, it goes in on the top, and you just want to make sure that you've got it to the same shape as the other one. Yeah, that's about right. Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to do like what I did with the head, and I'm just going to put some glue around the edge. Okay, don't worry if any glue comes out, it'll let dry clear anyway. And then just put them together. I'll make sure that they're joining alright, which we've got, and then just pop it to the side. Ooh, and it's come apart. See, if you've watched my other videos and I said that I use the glue gun just for quickness in videos, this is why. You can just sit here and hold them, or just put them to the side and let them dry. But because I only want one Santa, I'm doing it this way so I can show you how to do it without the glue gun. Yeah. Right, so he's all done. I'll get him into position. So I'll let those all dry and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, so all our pieces are dry. So I'm just going to put that to the side now. What we want to do first is we want to put a little white trim on Santa's tummy, which is where his coat will fasten. So I'm just taking a 3mm strip for this bit. Sorry for my glue not doing as I want it to. Don't worry if you don't get it exactly straight. You can always wipe the glue away. And then I'm just taking it all the way up to the top, where his trim would finish, and then snipping off the excess. Okay, so the next part is we're going to stick his legs to his body. Okay, so I think I'll be putting his legs together. So I'm going to be using the glue gun for this part, so I'm not having to keep stopping and starting and showing you what I need to do. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there, there and there. Now those are the points where the legs are going to join. Okay, and just pop them together. Can you see? So I've got two lovely Santa legs. Okay. And if you get any excess, like I've just got here, you can just use some little snips or something just to cut the dry glue away. There's always a fix for any of these little things. There we go. So we're going to take our Santa's body, and it's going to be sticking here like this. So we're just going to put glue on the top of the legs. My wire's not very long on my glue gun, so that's why I'm sort of like leaning while I'm doing it. And then we're just going to put his little round belly on the top here. Okay. And you want to just, if you can, just wipe away any excess. So we've got Santa in his little round belly stood up nice and straight. Now if you get this like what I've got here, there's a little bit of a gap in between the coils when I've done the legs. Just pop some more PVA just there on the crease and then push it together again, and then as it's drying, sorry I don't know whether I've got on there, just put some glue in between where they were separating and then just wipe any excess away and nobody will be any the wiser. Okay, so now we're going to put his head together. So we've got our little head and we want to make sure we've got the more domed one at the front, and then we're just going to pop on his head, now his neck first. I'm just popping a little bit of glue on the bottom where I want it to go. There we go. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to pop him his nose right in the centre. So just a little dot. And just put our little domed coil in the centre. Sorry Santa, I'm knocking you over. Now I'm going to pop on his ears. So obviously those will go on the side. Okay. And then the same on the other. He's got quite big ears, this Santa, but hopefully it's going to get covered up by his curly white hair. Okay. Excuse my cough. I'm just going to pop him some eyes on, and I'm going to let those dry to the side while we do his arms. So these are just some teeny tiny googly eyes. Because if you've not learned by now, I will love putting these on my quilling characters. So we've got a bald Santa, but he's got his eyes so at least he can see. Okay, so I'll just pop that to the side and let that dry while we're doing his arms and things. Right, so we've got his arms. So his arms are here now and they feel pretty much dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop one at either side so it's bending around to his front, because he's going to be holding our reindeer. So we want him to have some shape to his arms because he's going to have hold of the reins on the reindeer. So I'm just putting some glue on the inside. And then just popping it right in there. And then same on the other side. Get rid of this stringy glue. and we're just going to put his mittens in. Now his mittens need to go the opposite way around, so the white bit will go there and then his mittens at the end. So you just want to put some glue on the white around the edge, because that's the part that's going to touch. Let that dry, and same with the other side. There we go. He's got his hands. Now, he's a little bit bald, so we need to put him some hair on. Excuse me, just taking my drink so I don't sound like I've smoked 56 a day. So I'm just taking these little loose coils that I've made. I just cut them up, 3mm strip up really tiny, and I've just curled them using my quilling tool, and just let them uncurl. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to stick him some of his beard. So I'm just going to go around here like this. You can always take a pair of tweezers and just move them around into how you want them. Now if you want them to have a longer beard, don't cut your strips as short as what I have. Or you could do layers of strips, have long ones and then short ones on top. Didn't think of that when we were doing the prep for the video. So you get the idea, okay? I'm just going to do a few of these off camera because you don't want to watch me putting all those on, so that'd be very tedious, and I'll come back on. Right, so he's got his beard and he's got a little bit of hair that's going to pop out of the back of his hat. So I'm just going to pop some glue on the underneath of his neck, just round about here. Now his hair is still wet, so I'm having to be very, very careful that I don't knock it, because I've already done that once and had to reattach everything. And then we're just going to pop his head on the top. So we're nearly done with Santa. And then we just want to take the hat and then decide on where else we want to pop it. And then now that it's dried a little bit, you can actually sort of squish the top part a bit more and it'll fit his head perfect. There we go. Yeah, that's perfect. So I'm just going to pop some glue on the inside of his hat. And then let's stick his hat where it needs to be. And there we have a lovely little Santa. Now he's such a fun character, and I'm going to enjoy putting him into the scene once we've got all of the other pieces made. So I hope you've enjoyed that and it's inspired you to have a go at making yourself a little quilled Santa. He will be going in with his sleigh and his reindeers once I've got all the other pieces together, and I'll do a video of pulling them all together for when it's all finished. So thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, that'd be appreciated. And if you've not subscribed, if you consider subscribing, that would be appreciated too. So thanks for watching, I'll see you next time. Bye.